And you know, I want to say this. It's good to see Miss Charlotte here tonight. Miss Charlotte hadn't been coming on the night services because it's dark when she gets home. But tonight she can drive home in the daylight, huh? Yeah. And but I know there may be some others, but I know Miss Charlotte. I've been missing her and Miss Lynette on the evening services. But yeah, 54. Have faith in God, believe on Jesus. He'll answer every earnest prayer of all our care. He will relieve us. Come to the cross, He'll meet you there. Have faith in stand, and clouds of doubt begin together. Have faith in God, He answered prayer. Have faith in God, and doubting never. The precious blood still has its power. The bond of sin He'll quickly sever, and send a Pentecostal shower. Have faith in God, hold to His hand. Your every care He'll understand. When clouds of doubt begin together, have faith in God, He answered prayer. Have faith in God, and none can hinder. He heals the crippled, deaf and blind. If true be never and surrender, you'll for each prayer and answer find. Have faith in God, hold to His hand. Your every care He'll understand. When clouds of doubt begin together, have faith in God, He answered prayer.
Could y'all sing number 92, please?
92, okay. 92. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in, and then a little light from heaven filled my soul. It made my heart in love and wrote my name above, and just a walk with Jesus made me whole. Have a little talk with Jesus, and all out our trouble. Hear our faintest cry, answer by and by. Little prayer was turning, your little fire is burning. Find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Sometime I pass a prayer without a ray of cheer, and then a cloud of doubt may hide the light of day. The mist of sin may rise and hide the starry sky, but just a little talk with Jesus makes a way. Have a little talk with Jesus, and all about our trouble. Hear our faintest cry, answer by and by. When the fire is burning, your little fire is burning. Find a little talk with Jesus makes it right. I may have doubts and fear, my eyes be filled with tears, but Jesus is a friend who watches day and night. I go through every prayer, He knows my every care, and just a little talk with Jesus makes it right. Have a little talk with Jesus, tell Him all about our trouble. Hear our faintest cry, answer by and by. Feel a little 287. 287. Brother Robert's going to come and sing one after this. Miss Edelou, could you sing that song, My Grace is Sufficient? Do what? Would you want to try it? Okay, 287. Egypt was my home, I was a slave, and blessings seemed to grow of light and gray. But when I looked up to heaven's throne, Christ came to save. I'm living in Canaan now.
Living on Canaan's side.
Egypt behind,
Cross over Jordan line.
that testified, my soul is satisfied, no longer blind, living with Jesus up in Canaan right now. Down in the lowland river and with sand, I saw one filled with fear, darkness within, but Christ the Savior to me drew near. My heart to win, I'm living in Canaan now.
Living on Canaan's side.
Egypt behind,
Cross over Jordan line.
I testify, no longer blind, living with Jesus up in Canaan right now. Satan, lay at your bound with that wrong. Look out to higher ground, will not be long. Will Christ the Savior your soul and found? You'll sing this song, I'm living in Canaan now.
Living on Canaan's side.
Egypt behind,
Cross over Jordan line.
I testify, no longer blind, living with Jesus up in Canaan right now.
I'm shorter than you are, Dan. Can you lower that a little bit?
You want to go over there?
That'd be fine.
I do better if I can see you. I don't have eyes in the back of my head.
Well, I'll get back up. Well, I'm proud to belong to a church that supports missions. Aren't y'all? I love my church, I tell you what. I belonged to a small church before, and there's nothing wrong with them, but they can't support missions like we do here. We're blessed to be able to do what we do. We got an awesome church, we do. Sister Jessie asked me to sing this song a long time ago, and I told her I would sing it tonight. She asked me to sing it this morning, or Sally did, but so much going on this morning, it scared me to death when she asked me. So I said, nah, I believe I'll wait till tonight. So if you know this song, if you're old enough to know this song, maybe you could help me with the chorus. I always need some help, I tell you. I sure do. Jerome, you gonna help me with the chorus? Oh, yeah, you are. Brother Givens, you gonna help me? On the wings of a dove. Yeah. Oh, that's too loud. Tell you that now. I'm glad the tomatoes aren't ripe up on Chandler Mountain. Them things hurt when y'all throw them at me. I tell you, they're hard to clean up. Cleaning crew would not be happy, I tell you. We'll start off with a chorus. On the wings of a snow white dove, he sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove, when Noah had drifted on the flood many days, he searched for land in various ways. Troubles he had some, but wasn't forgotten. God sent him his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove. When troubles surround us, when evils come, the body grows weak, the spirit grows numb. When these things beset us, he doesn't forget us. He sends down his love on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, on the wings of a snow white dove. He sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, a sign from above, on the wings of a dove, the wings of a dove. I remember the song, but I can't remember the words.
Well,
Wouldn't be
they said
true.
it was coming. I've had some stuff on my heart that I've been praying about, and one morning this week, it was just like the Lord said, you remember Paul? And the Lord said, my grace is sufficient for you. Yes.
Sit in this chair, just trust him.
I love this song.
I like the song too, but I just can't hardly sing anymore. I sing at the house to myself, and my little dog just loves to hear me sing. She sits at the door on the front porch and hears me. But when I'm down and out, I can go try to sing at the house, and the Lord just fills my soul. And when I read my Bible at night before I go to bed, I have a good feeling with my Lord. He's real in my heart, though I might not show it sometime, but I don't know. Yeah, give me that. Let's see. When I am sad and lonely, and nothing but darkness I see, I hear a sweet voice whisper, my grace is sufficient for you. God's grace is all sufficient, sufficient for you and for me. What joy there is in knowing God's grace is sufficient for me. There's nothing too great for Jesus. Just trust Him and He'll see you through. Thy grace and hope will stay you. God's grace is sufficient for me. God's grace is all sufficient, sufficient for you and for me. What joy there is in knowing God's grace is sufficient for me.
I think it's in the old Heavenly Hymns book, the blue, what I call the old blue book. There's a song in there, Only Through Grace. And I thought how those two songs go together. But it's not in our books we've got here. But I feel like, you ain't got any more specials lined up, do you? No. I feel like it's preaching time. You pray for Brother Ryan. I appreciate him and his desire to stand. So pray for him tonight. If you're going to look for a night not to pray, wait time up. But pray for these young men. Come on, Brother Ryan.
It's an honor to be able to stand one more time for the Lord. It's always an honor to be able to stand for Him, to be able to do what He would have us to do, and to be able to rejoice in Him and what He's given us. And we've heard some lovely music tonight, and Spirit has been flowing so sweetly. I'm just going to do my best to mind the Lord and give you what He's given me. And part of it's going to be as I'm standing up here, He's going to give it to me because I am not 100% prepared. But what I thought I was going to be on is not what I'm on tonight, so praise the Lord for that. If you would, I will be in John chapter 6, starting in verse 15. And right here, we know that we are speaking with Jesus. And as y'all get ready, y'all can stand. I'm going to give a little bit of background in time, so y'all got plenty of time. Jesus has just fed a multitude and collected the baskets, the bread, and the fish. And all them that had seen this miracle has come to try and make Him king. John chapter 6, verse 15. When Jesus therefore perceived that they would come and take Him by force to make Him a king, He departed unto a mountain Himself alone. And when even was now come, His disciples went down into the sea and entered into a ship and went over the sea toward Capernaum. And it was now dark, and Jesus was not come to them. And the sea arose by reason of a great wind that blew. So when they had rowed about 25 or 30 furlongs, they see Jesus walking on the sea and drawing nigh unto the ship, and they were afraid. But He said unto them, It is I, be not afraid. Then they willingly received Him unto the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. The day following, when the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there was none other boat there, save the one wherein two His disciples were entered, that Jesus went not with His disciples into the boat, but that His disciples were gone away alone. Howbeit there came other boats from Tiberias nigh unto the place where they did eat bread, and after that the Lord had given thanks. When the people thereof saw that Jesus was not there, neither His disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum, seeking for Jesus. And when they had found Him on the other side of the sea, they said unto Him, Rabbi, when camest thou hither? And Jesus answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto ye, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. And you can sit down right now. I won't tax your patience no longer, but that's about where the Lord's got me reading from, and I may read a little bit further, Lord permitting. I'm not going to try to tax anyone's time tonight. I just want to mind the Lord, do what He would have me to do, and be where He would have me to be. And we know here in verse number 15, Jesus therefore perceived they would come and take Him by force to make Him a king. He was already a king at this time. He was already a king, and they were trying to make Him a fleshly king over them. And He departed again unto a mountain Himself alone. Now, if you reference over in Mark and in Matthew, you'll know that He went up to that mountain for a specific reason. and that reason was to pray. Here we have a people trying to make him king over them. And what does Jesus do when he sees a people trying to put him over him? He goes and prays unto the Father. Now, I have no clue what he prayed about. I have no earthly idea what he could have prayed to the Father about on that mountain as his disciples are in a boat going across water at night. I have no earthly idea. But if I was to imagine just for a minute why Jesus would go to the mountain to pray at that time, I could imagine it'd go something like this. Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Father, I know what's going to happen coming up pretty soon, and I know what I've got to do. And these people are seeking after me. And I'm going to need your help. Because remember now, Jesus is flesh. He's 100% man at this point. He's also 100% God, but he's 100% man. He's still dealing with the flesh. Now here he is. He's been in front of 3,000. He's performed a miracle. They're trying to make him king and put him someplace that he's not supposed to be. That ain't the king he's supposed to be to us, but the king which is in heaven. And so here he is alone. He's praying. He's praying unto God, and he's getting strength. Here Jesus is showing us, even though he's 100% human, 100% man, he still needs to reach out to the Father for strength. Why would he need at this moment? What would be so important that he would reach out in this moment? Father, I need your help. Well, if you notice over here at the end of my reading, over in verse 26, Jesus said unto them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto ye, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. They're seeking me because they're able to eat. They're seeking me because they got a little bit of food in their belly. They're seeking me because they got full. I went over there, all them fishes, all them loaves, they ate them. And they got full, and now they're seeking after me. But what does he say to them in verse number 27? Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for he hath God the Father sealed. They're seeking after him, looking for something, looking to get full, looking to get filled. They're wanting to see the miracles of Jesus. They're wanting to make him king in their life. They're doing everything they can to put him there. And I know you're going to wonder where I'm going in just a minute, where I'm seeing. Y'all just hang with me, because I'm going to keep on reading there in verse 28. Now I know where I'm going. And then said unto him, What shall we do that we might work the works of God? Here they are, them same people that had gotten full off of him. They're sitting there and they're like, Lord, what are we going to do? What do we need to do? What works can we do? And Jesus answered and said unto them in verse 29, This is the work of God, that you believe on him whom he hath sent. That's pretty strong right there. He's saying, believe on him who he hath sent. Now these people, they're a little confused at this point, because that's not the answer they were expecting. Could you imagine? You go up and you say, what work can I do? They expect you to say, oh, I need you to build a tabernacle. That's what they're going to be expecting, right? We're human. We want something fancy, flashy, pretty. You go out and buy a sports car, you don't get it in dull gray. You get it in red, blue, orange, lime green, depending upon where you're located. You want something fancy. We're human. We have the flesh that we still have to contend with every day. And we want something fancy. Something flashy. But what did he say? Just believe on him. Him that has sent me. Believe on the Father who art in heaven. You ain't got to do nothing fancy work. The work ain't got to be fancy. The work ain't got to be marvelous. You ain't got to stand up in front of everybody. It might just be to sit in a pew, open a book, and sing at the top of your lungs. The Lord's going to get a blessing out of it. That might all be all it's going to be. It might be just stand in the doorway and shake everybody's hand when they come in. Let them know you love them. Follow the commandment that Jesus left us, to love each other. Whew. That might not be all it is. That might all be the work is. Nothing fancy. The work might just be to walk to your neighbor's house, knock on the door, and tell them Jesus loves them. That don't sound very fancy, neither does it. And even I struggled with that one for a long time. But the Lord has something for you to do. He has a work for you. And if you would ask Him, He'll tell you. And the first thing He wants you to do is to believe on Him and the one that has sent Him. And you'll find out a little bit later, those two are the same one. And they said, and there in verse 30, they said therefore unto Him, what signs showest Thou then, that we may see and believe Thee? What dost Thou work? So here they are, they're saying, okay, you want me to believe on you? Well, what's the sign? What kind of showings are you going to do? We've seen the loaves and the fish over there. That's the reason why we're here now. We came all the way across the sea pursuing you because of the miracles and the fact that we got full way over yonder across on the other side of the sea. We got a hold of some bread. It tasted real good. Now we're here. Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven. Verse 32. Moses gave you not that bread from heaven. I think I skipped a verse. Our fathers, in verse 31, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. And Jesus said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven. But my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. Here you are, you got full over yonder, you got physically full, you got a good bit to eat, you're feeling filled up, you're feeling pretty good. But all that you heard about getting fed, even in Moses, that wasn't Moses, that was God. That was God that fed them. He provided the food. He provided the bread that you needed. He provided it all. It wasn't Moses, it wasn't the prophets. It was God working through them. And Jesus said unto them, I skipped a verse again. Notice that? Seeing if anyone's paying attention. Okay. In the verse 34, then they said unto Him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I say unto you that ye also hath seen me and believed not. Now, if I was to stop right there, that'd be a sad place to end. Here it is. It's in front of you, the bread of life, everything you need to get full like you was over yonder. What you thought you had was a little bit of a meal, but in reality what you needed was a meal from on high. But I said unto you that ye also hath seen me and believe not. That's pretty hard. He literally followed him all the way across the sea. This is the same group of people that just saw a whole bunch of people fed with just a few loaves and fishes. And then a whole bunch more got recollected. More than what there was. 12 baskets. He's already seen miracles. What is Jesus saying to him? Whew. But I said unto you that ye also hath seen me and believe not. You've seen the miracles. You've seen God work. You've seen Him move. But yet you still don't believe. But then in that very next verse, all that the Father giveth me shall come to me. You wonder what he was praying about way back over when? Let me tell you something. That statement right there, all that the Father giveth me shall come to me. What was Jesus praying for, you wonder? He was getting some reassurances. He was getting some strength. He was going and getting fed. He had to get off by himself and talk to the Lord. Tell him about what all's going on. These people, they're coming after me. What do I need to do? And here they are with him right after he's prayed. And what is he? He's got everything he needs to give them. He's saying, this is the bread of life. This is the bread. This is a meal. This will fill you. You think you was full over yonder? You have no idea. For I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. He didn't come to do his own will. Let me tell you something. If I'm 100% man and I'm 100% God, let's just trying to take it from Jesus' perspective, I still got that flesh that I got to contend with. And no one in the flesh wants to have nails through their hands. No one in the flesh wants to have a crown of thorns placed upon their head. No one in the flesh wants to be mocked and ridiculed. No one wants to have to endure that kind of pain and suffering to hang upon a cross and die. He didn't come for his will, but the Father's. Right now he is denying the flesh, and he's been denying it since the day he was born, to do the will of the Father, being perfect in all things. He came to... For I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I should lose nothing. I want to cause an intermission. I'm going to have to steal that word. I want to cause an intermission. That's just something to get excited about. All that he has given me, I will lose nothing. You know what he's talking about? Right there. Do you see it? Do you see it? He's talking about his children. I will lose none of them. Not a single one. They are mine forever, signed, sealed, delivered, and I'm going to take them home one day. I'm going to give them a new body. They're going to be with me forever. And why? Because my Father said so. Get you something to get excited about. Make you want to run. That everyone, I'm jumping verses again. That all which hath given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again. We're going to get raised back up one more time. Those loved ones that are in the book of life, we're going to get to see them one more time if you're in that book also. But shall raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that every one which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life. And I will raise him up on the last day. Here we see a group of people, and they're pursuing Jesus. They're wanting to get closer to him. They're wanting to come to know him better. They've seen him perform miracles. They've gotten a little bit of full. They got fed just a little bit. And they think it's exciting. Someone can jump up and down, run around. Woo, that's fun to watch. What's going to be even more fun is when we get to heaven and we get to fly. No more jumping. You know what's going to be even more fun is when you're standing in line and the Lord calls your name and the gates open wide and you get to enter in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Something to shout about. And if you can't shout about it, if you ain't excited about it, you can be. You can get fed by something other than just a little bread. You can get fed by the one who made the bread. You can get full on something other than the fleshly, carnal desires and get full on that which is spiritual, that which will fill you up from the inside out and overflow. And you can shout. You can sing. You can get excited. And before you know it, you're standing somewhere else and you don't even know how you got there. Praise the Lord. And this is probably going to be a short one. I'm about done. Here it is. The Lord's come to you. He's performed miracles for you. You've seen some of the miracles in your life. Might not be nothing fancy. Might not be no feeding of 3,000 you've seen, but you've seen some miracles. Some people getting healed that thought there wasn't no hope. Maybe it's just a miracle of being able to get to the gas station while your hand's there on E, hoping you're able to coast in. And seeing the car as it dies and you still get to coast right into the bump. And talk about a miracle. I know that's a little bit worldly, but the Lord provides. He gives us what we need. He gives us what we stand in need of. These people came to Him seeking to be fed. Wanting some more miracles. And what did He tell them? There's something much greater. Believe in the Father, believe also in me. Whew! Here I am. I'm going to feed you. I can feed you in a way that a cheeseburger at McDonald's can't. That's what the Lord's saying. You're going to get full in a way that makes you forget about where you're going to go and eat. There's going to come a time when you get so filled up, at the end of the service, you're wanting to hang around and forgot where it was you was going to go eat that day. Something good about that. There's something great about that. Spirit just fills you up. Before you know it, you want to walk up and you want to shake somebody's hand. You can't help it. You just want to shake their hand. You can't help it. Get a little help along the way. You want to shake their hands. There's going to come a time when the Lord's going to just open your eyes and you're going to be able to see what all He's done for you. He's got a meal prepared for you. And it's not cheeseburger and French fries. It's not 8-piece chicken in a bucket. But it is manna from on high. Manna from on high. And when you get a bite of it, it'll take you. It'll fill you up. And it'll give you some joy. Give you some peace. And I thought I was done. The Jews then murmured at Him because He said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that He saith, I came down from heaven? Jesus therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not amongst yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will rise him up at the last day. Let me tell you something. This man, this group of people are still here. They've been following Him since way over when. They've seen the fishes being made. They've seen all this. And here they're like, hold up, but aren't you Mary and Joseph's son? And what's His response to them? They're having doubts. He's saying, don't murmur among yourselves. I'm right here. No man can come unto me except the Father which hath sent me draw him. Guess what? He's saying the only reason why you're here is because the Father sent you here. You have a desire to get fed by Jesus one more time, to be in His house because you have been drawn here. And the Lord's going to draw you. He'll give you that which you stand in need of. You're going to be drawn. If you don't know Him, you're going to be drawn. You don't understand why you at the house. You at the house for a reason. God placed you here for a reason. He loves you. He wants to see you grow. He wants to see you get fed. But not with chicken fingers and cheeseburgers. But with that Spirit, get filled. Jesus loves you today. That's all I got. There's a lot in that. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what kind of troubles and trials you may be facing. But I do know one thing. If you seek after Jesus, He will give you answers. Those answers may not make sense, just like they didn't to this people that said, hold on, this doesn't make no sense. But when the time comes and it does make sense, you'll get a blessing out of it. I guarantee you that.
2:15 in the Red Book.